This moment, up next, is for us to have a panel discussion of the importance of IDN registration and usage in Ghana. So please put your hands together for yourselves as we're about to set the tone for this session. This discussion will involve the following stakeholders. So we have Raymond, who is from EGIGFA. We have Awattey, who is from AAU. We have Francis/Benedict from GDNR, Vanessa from GDNR, and we have AFTLD/CCTLD, but there's nobody there though. But let's use a moment to now introduce our panelists. So please come up for us. So let's put our hands together for Raymond as he comes up. And our host, our adorable Faiza. Please put your hands together for her. Last year, she was most phenomenal. And this year, too, she will be. Please have a seat.
Hi, can you hear me? Am I audible? Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so Universal Acceptance Day. We all know that universal acceptance is really about ensuring that domain names and email addresses, regardless of language, script, or length, are accepted and function seamlessly across systems. And for regions like Ghana and Africa, this becomes even more critical as we think about digital inclusion and local content. My name is Faiza Adam, and I'm a cybersecurity professional. And thank you all for joining this session this afternoon. So I would like to get started, I would like my panelists to introduce themselves and also which stakeholder group they are.
Okay, my name is Raymond Mamattah. I'm representing the civil society.
Hi, my name is Francis Amaning from the CCTLD. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Frank Anati and I'm representing technical community.
Thank you. My name is Awattey Tetteh. I'm representing academia.
Thank you. Okay, so from the perspective of the stakeholder group that you represent, how important is universal acceptance and why should it be a priority for Ghana and the broader Africa region? This to my panelists. Anyone can go first.
All right, thank you, able moderator. So first of all, I would want to probably break down what universal acceptance is for the understanding of all our audience. So when you say universal acceptance, I believe we've done so much today, not to bore you so much, but like it's where our domain names, our email is accepted universally on the internet. So irrespective of the script or the language or the characters you are using for your domain name. And we all know it's we get email addresses from our domain names. So after you've created your email address from your domain name, it should be accepted on the internet, because as it stands, there are some characters, if you use them on the internet, or probably you are filling a form, a login, and there's email validation to tell you this is not an email address because it's not accepting it. So universal acceptance is when all our scripts and all our characters are being accepted. So we are looking at a world where inclusivity, when every language, irrespective of continent or wherever we are able to use our characters or our languages on the internet. Thank you.
Thank you. So from the civil society point of view, civil society, we deal mainly with the indigenous people, depending on where we operate. So how does this matter to us as a civil society? So for instance, like we did during the test, if I want to capture the attention of my area people, I think one of the best websites I can use is the bobobo.com, which they can easily relate to. So by using the local script in the domain name creation, it will be easy for our locals to easily understand it and relate to it, and they can also easily remember. Which of us here cannot easily remember bobobo.com? It makes it very easier, and this makes it inclusive for those of our parents who cannot read or understand English to easily come online. So for instance, I want to capture the attention of the old ladies in Volta. I just go and say, oh, let's go and see how bobobo.com appears online. Of course, the bobobo is the drumming and the dancing in the area, which is very popular there. So that they can easily relate to it. So UA, for us as civil society, makes us to have inclusivity of those who originally are not going to be included, the old people, because when we use the local script in the domain names, they can easily remember and can easily come on board. So that's one thing that I believe is important for us.
Okay, thank you for the question. So I would like to say, when it comes to tech community, we are looking at global interoperability when it comes to UA, because if UA, we have UA, we can operate our websites and run emails globally, and it's interoperable with any language, and any scripts can actually accept. So when you send an email from, as an Arabic person, and you send to an English person, your system should be able to accept it. So this is what we are talking about, global interoperability, and it also comes to an economic point of view. It's very important because you can trade in any script at all, and it's going to be accepted at the other end. Thank you.
Okay, I think I would like everybody to look at our hashtag. So check on your t-shirts, there's a hashtag. And do we all agree to that hashtag? Internet for all. This means the internet does not belong to any particular single person. But some people have taken advantage of the internet more than others. And to bring all the disadvantage and the advantage together on the same platform, academia is then looking at the platform where we developers are able to bring all the codes together to make sure those characters, those indigenous characters, are accepted on the systems to be able to incorporate everybody onto the internet. Thank you.
Thank you. So, in order for the session not to be boring and our audience just consuming the information, I'm also going to throw the question back to you. So, you've been here from 9 a.m. today up until now. You've learned a lot about universal acceptance. So, from your perspective, what do you think? Why do you think universal acceptance is important, and why should Ghana and Africa why should it be a priority for Ghana and Africa? The question is to you, my audience. Yeah, and the online people as well. So if you are online, you can answer the question as well.
So I'm thinking of going into crabs.
Okay.
But the problem, hey, why are you telling when I said crabs? Yeah, maybe I want to sell crabs as an entrepreneur. But if you go online and you go and search crabs.com, it's probably taken. .net is probably taken. .org is probably taken. But I know that my local people too call it Okoto. So if I buy the okoto.com or okoto.gh, I have the crab that I can sell using a domain that my audience can easily relate to. So that is the whole point of the universal acceptance, because most of these domains, a lot of domains have been taken already. Some are even just sitting on it, just in case something big rolls up in that space. So the whole point of it is to allow people to engage using their own natural scripts so they can access things that they usually do not have access to.
Please, anyone. Okay, so with my understanding, I would relate it to security, right? So every SOC has a SIM, and if a legitimate user, right, sends a mail with his native language, the email being in his native language, and it comes into the SIM, if the SIM is not UA ready, it will flag it as malicious or as a phishing email, but it would have been legitimate. So I think UA coming in would also help we, the analysts, to switch our SIMs so that when some things like this come in, it would also reduce the noise in the SIM. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So as Frank said, the whole point of UA is inclusivity and also accessibility. So my next question to my panelists is, looking at where we are today, what specific initiatives or actions do you think could help drive the adoption and implementation of UA in Ghana?
Okay, thank you. I think this one of the very first initiative that comes to mind. I think awareness creation and capacity development. As my good brother just said, it is a two-edged sword. We all have to play our part to make it work, because if the country CCTOD, the country top level domains .gh is, because as it stands now, it is not UA compliant, because you can't use the local characters to create a domain name currently. Currently, as Mamattah did, for com and org is working, but currently it's not working for .gh. So what is the future? So the future is we should also be able to create domain name using like bobobo.gh. So that should be the future. So .gh should move a step further so that we'll be able to inculcate UA readiness in it. And what lies ahead for our developers? As my brother said, developers, when you're developing our apps and our website, we should also make sure it's also UA ready, because if you're building incidents monitoring system and it's not UA compliant, it's going to flag every email that comes, which is UA email, because it's going to think it's malicious or it's a spam. Some may not even flag it, will just reject it up, so you don't even get to see it before you even have to flag it that it's white. So I think it's a collective effort. as you are creating awareness and building capacity, because you need capacity to be able to do your email configuration to accept those stuff, you need capacity and education to get it done. So I think as a country, it has to start from the top level. So the CCTLD have to make sure the country domain name, because as we are promoting domain name in country, we also want people to buy .gh domain name. So if it's not ready, then people rather prefer to go and buy .com, which is ready. But we are preaching people to buy .gh. So yes, in country, we'll start from our home. We have to make sure our .gh is UA compliant, and also our tech and developers also have to make sure all our platform, because as I did mention, if our online forms validation does not accept UA emails or characters, it's going to flag it always. So let's all play our part and make sure it's going to work. And also, during my big brother, when I was saying, most of if you look on your laptops, the keyboard characters, you know, some characters, some countries, some Asian laptops and other countries, they have Chinese laptops. You see, apart from the usual alphabet, they have some other characters on it. You can either use the shift or other keys to access it. What is the future for Ghana? Are we going to build capacity to get that done? What is the future? I think I'll leave it for my brother technical to go deep into it, but I think there's so much opportunity for us to do as a country and get it done. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Faisal, for the question. So, some of the initiatives that come to mind is one, training actually developers to actually look at building UA compliant applications and websites. That's the first and foremost thing to do. And also looking at getting the applications that are already built to be UA compliant. And I think when we do that, it would actually help with accelerating this. And also, we need to look at the technical systems. So we need to look at when it comes to websites, a lot of people use content management system to build their websites. So is the content management system UA compliant? I think majority, I would say WordPress has some components that are UA compliant. It's not 100%, but it's getting there. Being part of the measurements committee for UA, we worked on this, and we are getting there gradually. So I think some of these initiatives would help a lot in getting us to the point where all our systems are UA compliant. Thank you.
Okay. I think the year 2023, there was a baseline assessment that was done by Coalition for Digital Africa, which actually was done over 400 universities were engaged in the survey to see how many of them have their emails compliant and website compliant. Unfortunately, over 400. At that time, it was only 88 websites that were compliant, and 227 email systems were compliant. Are we saying that academia cannot do anything to help in this sense? That is one of the reasons why the EU has taken it upon itself to make sure we engage the assistance of ICANN to make all our member universities compliant through technical trainings and other resources available to engage their technical departments, even make it possible for them to include this UA into their curriculum so that it will be taught at school. Students will understand what to do to make sure the systems they build are UA compliant. In order that all those systems they are building, when they come out, It's not now that they are going to do things to make sure, oh, let's go back to do certain configurations to make sure it is compliant or not. Right from beginning, you know what to do. The coders, the system developers, the programmers, they all know what to do. The technical people at the various universities or the various higher educational bodies, who comes out to become the technicians that works on all the networks we are talking about, with industry to create keyboards and so on and so forth, the manufacturing industry, we need to make sure we are all these people that are coming from academia into the industrial market understands what UA is and be able to incorporate whatever they learn from school into. So from academia, that is what we intend to do to make sure, or what we are doing to make sure at least academia also takes up the mantle to make sure that they produce the workforce or the men and women that are going to help in this, drive this AU agenda. Thank you.
Okay, so from the civil society point of view, I think we need to build coalitions of people that are interested in empowering their community with the technical know-how on how they can become UA compliant. And the most important thing too is that UA is very, very, very necessary for Africa, because Africa has the largest continent with our varied scripts. If you go to Europe, what do they have? It's French and English. And the French and English characters are already compliant. When you come to Africa, we have the Ethiopian script that have their own very unique scripts. In Ghana alone, we have several languages that have their own script as well, though some are quite related. So one, we need to build coalitions of people that are interested in building capacity for their various communities. And if possible, somebody should take it upon themselves. Probably EGIGFA will say, we are taking it upon ourselves to make proposals and get funding. Then we can sublet those funding to the other communities that will want to do capacity building for their various communities. I'm not talking of only in Ghana, for the whole of Africa, so that they can empower their communities so that they can become UA compliant. I think it will be one of the good things that we can consider.
Thank you. So what my takeaway from all that they said is awareness and education and awareness is very important, because if individuals and communities are aware, then they can become UA compliant. Also, in order for you not to sleep on us, I'll keep throwing the question back to you. So what do you think are the specific initiatives that can drive the adoption and implementation of universal acceptance in Ghana? My question is to you. And to the audience online as well. You can mute and speak, yeah. Hello? I hope you are not sleeping. Any contributions? You can add up to what the panelists said.
I think another group that we do not sometimes see is also those who learn to code and to build websites through boot camps. So there are a lot of these incubators and these institutions that are around that are also training people on how to build websites, how to build applications and things like that. They also need to be trained on UA, so that when they are also training, so that it becomes a trainer of trainees kind of project, so that they also have adequate knowledge about it, and then they continue to reflect it. The only way we can really make a very big impact is exponential activities, which is by teaching people who in turn would teach others. So that is another group that we might not see often.
Thank you. Sule, do you have anything to add up?
Okay, so GDNR, right? There's top level domain, CCTLD. The GH is not UA compliant yet. To promote it in Ghana, you can start by being UA compliant, and then perhaps say, if you buy a .gh domain and then you get it to be compliant as well, you get a slash, some discount to motivate people to ensure that their websites are UA compliant. So it's something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we know that universal acceptance is not just about policy conversation. There are also real barriers that affect implementation. So, I mean, for example, challenges around system compatibility, keyboards, local language support, and even platform limitations still exist. So, from your perspective, what are the key technological gaps hindering universal acceptance today, and how can we begin to address them, particularly within Ghana and Africa as a whole?
All right, thank you. I think one major gap which we normally overlook is the human factor. Human factor in the sense that, you know, in Ghana, we even have the NCA and NITA who see every equipment that comes into the country. So, and human factor in the sense that if it's something, a thing of an interest, because it's about knowing, not knowing, and knowing but not interested in it. Those that make the policy in the country, do they really know the importance of universal acceptance? Because even if you cast your eyes around, currently in Ghana, even let's put you aside, normal naming. In the past, people usually used to name their children those foreign names, but now people are narrowing down to more of our local names. They prefer to use our local names for their children than, as in the past, they were using those Abrofudino. So even in our local context, they prefer to use our local names for it. So I think it's about time as a country, as a nation, the things that come into the country, as in equipment, as in hardware, in terms of the hardware, we have to get to a point that we have to make sure it's UA compliant. Because one, is the hardware on the laptops that is approved by any authority, is it UA compliant? It is something that we're overlooking, even the software, because after the hardware has been looked at, the software, because even if you want to build local capacity, I remember we used to have RLG, which was assembling laptops in Ghana. They had their own issue, but they were doing well. So if we have a similar, because after they faded out, I've not heard of any indigenous company in Ghana who has taken up that mantle to carry along. So it's about time we invest much into R&D, research and development in-house, because I don't believe the Chinese would want to someone to come and feed them. Let's begin to invest in research and development in the country. Let's have in-house developers who, at a point you can, we should not be importing laptops. Ghana should be able to do our own laptops, or even not just laptops, have certain parts so that we can import the rest and assemble them in Ghana. So I think one of the major gaps is hardware. Some has to do with technical capacity, because as we sit here, if the question is asked, how do we even make our systems, our websites, our forms even UA compliant? We don't even know. That means we need more training. So training is another gap. So I think we have to try, as I said, from the top, fix the top as the policymakers get to understand the importance of you. As we've gathered here, we should be able to market it very well so that the people at the top understand the essence of you and why it's important. once they get to, because the authority in charge of bringing the goods to Ghana will make sure it's UA compliant. The one developing the software will make sure, okay, henceforth, every software I'm building, I know many people want to tighten their system because of cyber attack. But once you know UA, you'll be able to do it once you still be cyber free. So let's attack free. So let's try to, one, educate not just ourselves, but our bigger folks, so that they also understand the importance. And one, because if we talk and talk and talk, and those that make the policy don't buy into it, it's just a waste of time. So let's try and work along with the policymakers so that everything coming to the country will be UA compliant. And we as also developers, we have to make sure, let's talk to our superiors, because I know most of us are policy, technical people here. Let's talk to our superiors in the various institutions that henceforth, every application or things, because I know most of us, we do more event and stuff. So the question is, the form and the thing that we use, henceforth, are we going to try and make them UA compliant? Because as my brother has shown us how to register Bobo, maybe tomorrow I'll just go home and register it. Someone want to register Okoto. So if he comes and his company is Okoto and he has info at Okoto, the system might reject it because it will say it is not a valid email address. So I think it's a step at a time. So let's get the policy bit done and technical. So let's begin, as EGIGFA is doing a good work, let's also try to collaborate, as I said. Let's do more collaboration, not just government, not just private, but government should also work along so that we can build more capacity, so that we know how to build our systems, and also the system that comes in are UA compliant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Faisal. When it comes to the technical community, the first and foremost gap would have to be the technical know-how. You need to get people with the technical know-how and the insights to actually help implement this UA compatibility when it comes to applications and websites. So that's the first key gap that we have to address from the technical point of view. Because without that, we would actually be pushing the agenda, but we will still need the technical know-how to actually execute it. Because we can do more advocacy, but we need to put boots to the ground to actually get it in place and get it done. Because without that, we'll just advocate, and there will be nothing that comes out of the advocacy. So to me, we would have to have more technical know-how and get more people involved and actually train them so that they would be able to build more UA compliant applications and websites and incorporate it in their, let's say, development process as technical people. Thank you.
Okay, I think education has a lot to do. Academia has a lot to do because all these people we are talking about come from academia. You talk about training, and you are talking about academia. You talk about training the trainers or the trainer's trainer. It comes from there. So what are we talking about here? There is a case where we started a pilot program we actually wanted to, together with ICANN, AU and ICANN, started a program with, pilot program with 3 universities to incorporate the AU curriculum into their teaching and learning. And it's been a long battle for the typical university setup to understand and accept that this is really something very important to adopt into their system. But they are ready to adapt AI. They are ready to adapt technology. They are ready to adapt digitalization, forgetting that what drives all that has to do with we being able to incorporate certain things that kind of drives the agenda of introducing all these digital platforms onto our campuses. There is .edu. Who brought about .edu? Which everybody accepts it for education. So, if Ghana decides to go for something else, that represents education. If Africa decides to go for something else, that represents education. Are we not there? And these are some of the things we are advocating for. And it has been a long battle, but we hope to get there. We're still pushing to make sure some universities has accepted, wants to introduce, and to be very sincere, we want to use them as a test case to push the rest of the higher educational bodies to also come along. And I think going forward, if we can all go on with this advocacy, even those of us here alone start making noise about it. On our various platforms, on our various institutions, I think it will go a long way to help in bringing this menace to a halt. Thank you.
Okay, so from my point of view, let me start with the quote Francis used. Knowing, not knowing, knowing but not interested. That is a very interesting one. So, those of us in this room, we are exempted from two of what he said. We are excluded from not knowing. Now we know. So after knowing, will you go and not be interested? So from what we have, the training we have done today, there are two things that I have picked that are critical in terms of technical aspect when it comes to the UA applications. One, we could register the bobo.com, but it will not display as such. Because if you pin it, if you type that domain, that is not what is going to be displayed. It displays in the penny code. So is our effort of registering the local characters in domains really going to yield efforts? So my challenge here is, we have the IT and the computer science students here. My challenge to you is go and find out how you can make the browsers to display IDNs in their own characters, but not in penny codes. That can become something you can proudly say, and it become an achievement that can be celebrated worldwide. Because as it is now, no browser can display the IDNs except in the penny codes. So that's one challenge I'm throwing out to you. Then two, we realized that during the demonstration, we couldn't use the keyboards. And if I say I want an EVE keyboard on my laptop, does it mean next time when I want to type Chinese characters, I still need to go and change my keyboard on the laptop or on the PC? So the idea that comes to mind is we now have to start thinking of how to get virtual keyboards. When we want to type EVE characters, by a click, you know that you are choosing the EVE keyboard. If you want the Chinese characters, you just choose that you want the keyboard to display the Chinese characters for you to be able to type in. So these are my two challenges. How do we make sure that our existing PCs and laptops can type other scripts, the Chinese characters? So my idea is we should start thinking of how we can have our already existing keyboards to go behind the codes that can now turn into virtual keyboard that you can easily change to any script that you want to use. So those are my two challenges, which I believe, when well done, can help us to eliminate the challenges we have when with the technological applications, preventing us from experiencing clearly when it comes to the UA compliance.
Thank you. So we are wrapping up. To my audience, a lot has been said, and from all that you've heard from morning till now, we all can agree that there are challenges and barriers when it comes to universal acceptance in Ghana and Africa. So from your perspective, what do you think can be done to address these challenges? Please, after, what's your name? Michael. The ladies, one of you would have to speak. If not, you all speak. So you should decide who you want to speak.
Okay, thank you. For all that we are saying, it's a very good thing that we are saying, but the problem is that the policymakers, if not, next year we will come here and talk about the same thing. Sometimes meetings like this are very good. We get the energy to do more. But the issue is that do we have any deliberate plan to achieve all this? That's the problem. Because it looks like in Africa we like talking, but if you come to the action, we are very quiet. The people that are developing these computers for us from the Europe, from the Chinese, they have a plan that we need to achieve this at a particular time. What is our plan also? We need to be deliberate and say that enough is enough. Let's sit down and do something for ourselves. Because Chinese man will not come here and develop keyboard for you the way you want it, because you don't even understand your language. But if everybody decide that, okay, this is a policy, we can do something for ourselves, I think next year when we come here, you'll be thinking about the results of what you've done, but not the problem again. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is to our panelists, because we don't want to come back here next year and be talking about the same thing. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I would want to add up to what he just said. Yeah. So with the policymakers, right, Bank of Ghana, so the banks, Ghana.gov, everyone works in silos, right? So if they are building any app or any system, and the bank builds a UA-ready application, and the API, which the app application we'll be talking to is not UA-ready, obviously it's going to break when the handshake is in process. So if the policymakers make the policy that every system or every application is supposed to be UA-ready, I think it should also help push it. Yeah.
I agree. Thank you. So, would you like to take? Yeah.
So let me take it from my brother. I think currently, to the best of my knowledge, NITA, which is the National IT Agency, currently the government has now they are doing compliance. Okay, so every application currently doing for government, so every application which is being built by any MD or MMDA, the sanction is before it's been approved. But I don't think one of UA is one of the checkbox they check before. So I think one of our homework is to present a communique or white paper to them that, okay, and let them know the importance of UA in every application or every email that goes out. So it should be one of their checkboxes. And to add it, currently I'm very happy going to IGF, Internet Governance Forum, okay. Currently, we have Parliament in Internet Governance, which is very one key achievement, because in the past, as my friend said, we'll talk and come back the next year and still talk. Talk is cheap, but action is not normally as compared to talk. So I believe in some of such discussion during intergovernance forum, during the parliamentary track, and when they are there, I think there are some of the conversations that we should be able to have, because they are very important. As I said, they make the policy. Maybe they're not even aware UA even exists. It will surprise you. The parliamentarian may not even know UA exists, but they'll make the law for you. You have to abide. So I think we have to make a conscious effort. So this one is a, I don't know whether it's a plea or a charge I'm giving to EGIGFA. If after this program they can present a communique or a communication to the Minister of Communication, Data Technology and Innovations, that we've had such an event, and we want to start from the top, from government. We want to see government to just do a checklist for us and see how many government websites, because now we have the ICANN.gov, which has the passport service, all the e-services there. Is even UA compliant? So charity may have to begin from home. So if EGIGFA can take this lead, okay, we are presenting this communique to the minister. Now I want to make sure we want Ghana to be UA compliant, so let's start from the top, the government. Let's see, because now we are preaching digitalization. So that means there are a lot of services which are going to, now DVL want to go digital, Office of the Registrar of Office want to go digital, Tax Office want to go digital, some are already there. So if we want to do all these online services, are they UA compliant? The question as of now will be no. But going forward, so I don't know if it's a charge or it's a plea to EGIGFA. Can we take a step from there and make sure a communique or paper is presented to the minister or to the Parliament Select Commission communication, so that we can take it from there? Otherwise, we'll come here again, as my brother said, next year, and we'll just come and talk again, go and come back the next year, and we'll still be talking. Thank you.
Okay, so the charge, I take it as a charge. The charge is accepted, and we'll work with as a collective team again to issue a communique that should go to start with the minister and follow up. But one of my colleagues was also just suggesting a while ago that we should do more of workshops, which will be more hands-on for the people to know what to do. So it is one of the charges that we are going to, activities that we are going to do as a follow-up to this year's UAD. And I'm sure Yaovi and ICANN, they'll come on board. I'm sure Yaovi will come again when we need to meet the minister so that we can have this to kick off. It is time that Ghana become compliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah, like, you see, when developers create apps, for instance, like they sign up forms and everything, they mostly use the outdated, and you know the process is long, so some things are already on the internet, so they copy and paste to avoid the whole process. So I'm like, maybe a fix will be including, let's say, the SMTP, what do they call it? SMTP UTF-8, then to accept Unicode as well. So it could fix the issue. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to add something a little bit. I mean, with what the young man said, at times in our country, we wait for the Chinese to do everything for us. And as Mamattah also said, we are in the room, so at least we've gone past one of the rules that we are aware. So I believe we don't have to wait. Government only make policies. Most of the things we are talking about, we are projecting like in the next 5 years or 10 years, this UAD, I mean, universal acceptance then will come to a reality. What are we doing as young IT folks? Are we sitting down for the Chinese, let's say the laws and everything has been passed. Now we don't even have a keyboard that we can connect. We have to come up with something, start creating something, because the government will only accept some of these proposals and, make it into something reality. So we can come up with designing some of this, wireless keyboards, which will be universal acceptance, keyboards. Do some software you can connect. We can start from somewhere, but we don't have to wait. You wait till 5 years' time, and these same Chinese people will come here and do it for you. So I believe as we are discussing some of these things, we also look out for some of these opportunities ahead of us so that we can take advantage of them. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree. We should start doing something small in our own way so that when the opportunity comes, we are best prepared and fit for the opportunities. If not, they will bring someone from China to come and do it for us. Please, my ladies, who is ready? I'm waiting for you. I've not forgotten.
Let me just add a little bit, because I don't know if you're aware, most of our state enterprise software are usually built by people from outside. The Indian, normally they give most of these contracts to these Indians and these Chinese. And don't want to mention any company's name. So what are we doing? Is it because we don't have in-country capacity? Is it because they don't trust our intellect? This is a food for thought, because looking just within our continent, I know Ghana is one of the countries that has one of the best technical in terms of technology. We have the skills, but usually they go out and bring people to come and do it. And at times now, we have issues of data sovereignty. The way the software, they don't want to give you ownership, and now it is one issue Ghana is battling over. But we should be looking into a field, because if an Indian person comes to build a software for you, I don't think he's going to think of putting UA compliant for Ghana for you. It is not his interest. So the food for thought for us, if it's capacity, let's build more. If it's about letting them know of that we can, let's let them know we can do, so that they stop importing people to come and build software and enterprises for us. Thank you.
I think one of the things we've also been seeing is that when we talk about technology fairs and so on and so forth, all we see is robotics. Some car that has been developed by University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, some aeroplane, something that has been built by somebody. But normally we don't see softwares. We don't have a lot of softwares being demonstrated at our technological expos, where we will show people, we will introduce to people for them to know and understand the kind of softwares we've developed. So, sorry, when these events are coming up, please, those of us that are into system development, that are into apps development, let us show up. Yes, I know sometimes some of the things are expensive to come by, but it will be better for us to find money and spend on them, so that we get a market for it later, than sitting behind and thinking that, oh, as for management software, there is some online, so why can't we just adapt it and modify it to suit what we need? No. No. We need to start developing some of these things on our own, a lot of them, that are more suitable to our environment than bringing a lot of these applications from elsewhere. And that is why when states need to buy something, we want to look out there, because we adapted what we are using, what we have modified from out there. Once they get to know the source, it's done. But if they realize that the source is you, and you can do it, and you have what it takes. Right now, fintech, there's financial technology softwares, financial softwares. Good. There are a lot that are being patronized locally than the ones coming from outside. So what are of the other areas? Can't we do the same? We can. So please, from today's meeting, let us believe we can and face the reality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so one thing we should be looking at is capacity building. You know, most of these things, before they can be done, we need to invest into the individuals. Sometimes the money that we waste on other events or other things that are not too much profitable to us, we can invest those money into people by giving people scholarship, being intentional about it, that okay, we are building this place. Because right now, the issue is that the person who will try to build the capacity to do all these things, but maybe the market will not be there for the person, so the person will try to run away. And it's like sometimes most of the things we are using is the black people that are doing it for us, but just that they are behind the scene. We are not seeing some of them. So I think it's a high time we'll be intentional that, let's develop the youth, especially with the youth, because the country belongs to us. When you develop us, when you invest into us, when you help us to get grants and then scholarships that will help us to get to that level, because no matter what, we need to learn from those who are doing it to be able to do it better. Thank you.
All right, so my comment is with regards to what Mr. Awattey said. And I personally do have a challenge with academia when it comes to that. You have most of students, especially in tech, done with their projects. Mostly, if they are not hardware-based, they are software-based. And they are sitting on the shelves. People come out with a lot of innovative ideas, and then we shelve them. Just recently, a friend made a proposal, like a project defense, and then the topic was related to something in tree. I won't go into details. And then the feedback that came back was disappointing. You get it? So academia, we will plead with you. If you look at the number of people that have graduated from the unis now, from let's say the past 5 years, and the kind of innovative ideas that are sitting on the shelves, some on CDs, some on tapes, and some that have done Viva, and then they are there. I don't know whether we would have to get a consolidated platform where we publicize those things, because it's sometimes painful. People waste most of their time on these things, and we shelve them. And you end up going back to, as he was saying, the Indians, for health information management systems. When I have had colleagues that might have done this years back, on the shelves. So we'll plead with academia. This one comes back to you, as you said, so that if we can go, I don't know, but it's pains me sometimes. It pains me, because I know that, like young men are putting things up that should be showcased. But then, also now it's like, we want to do it, let's do it, and then let's graduate. And then they're out of this there. Sometimes they even go up there and go and implement the same thing in a different country altogether. So we'll plead with academia. If most of our works can be, publicized, it can be marketed, I don't know, but then I think maybe we should have a consolidated platform where we try as much as possible to bring up all these, ideas and then solutions up. Then from there we can take it from there. If not, every now and then we'll be engaging the Chinese, the Indians, and so to be doing our systems for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want to say anything, but when he mentioned about project work, I think the academia that one, sometimes you go to, IT is more about innovation. Sometimes we have something that is in our head that when we want to express ourselves, you have to allow us to express ourselves. But you go, you want to do a project, and the supervisor is telling you you must follow the school's old template that, like, so sometimes it's frustrating. Yes, because you want to express yourself in a way that you are the only one who really understands what is going into your mind. But you are forced to say, I have a project, the person will not, I will not even look at it because you are not following the school template. So, and at the end of the day, you are forced to just go and copy something and give it out and pass and go out. So I think that then at the end of the day, we are only doing the project to pass and leave. So I think maybe that one too, you have to look at it, because sometimes the things people want to do.
Yeah, the point about the project work, it's not easy. Because the project work I did in school, that I didn't use. But later on, I saw it being done somewhere else. There's questions about IPs and all of these things. But the thing to note is that academia doesn't have money, right? It's industry that has all the money. So the main thing we've been trying to do over the years is to try to get academia and industry into the same meeting or at the same table to work together so that they can then, because industry has challenges that they face each and every day, right? Like Casaprecon has a lot of challenges they are facing. Maybe some bottlenecks with regards to distribution, they are bottling, health concerns, things like that. All of these are research questions, right? And academia can answer them. So it's important that we try and help industry to know that academia is here for you. We need to come together and work together. Imagine if during every project defense, there's one person from industry there that listens to what is being done, vets what is being said, and then they pick some. In a lot of foreign countries, they do these career days where they scout for students even before they leave school. So by the time you've left school, you probably have already been sponsored to do a project that is based on the company you are going to and all of those things. And it takes foresight, it takes vision, and it takes planning by the heads of the institutions and academia, industry, right? So we need to keep bringing both of them into onto the same table, and hopefully when they are able to do some great work together, it can bear fruit. We have the example of Ashesi. Ashesi does that very well now. What they do is they even bring some of their partners to their classrooms, right? To tell the students their challenges they are facing. Most of these students do brainstorming regarding challenges that they need to solve and things like that. The best one gets to do an internship with that institution. So already you have thought about something, you have solved it, you have actually implemented it, and it has worked. Now you are in the industry. You're already set because they see how valuable you are to them. This is something that a lot of institutions need to work on, but it's quite difficult to scale up because of the way our system works here. But over time, we are hoping that that becomes the case. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been an engaging session so far, and we are gradually coming to the end of the session. But it's rather unfortunate the ladies are still the ladies still don't want to speak. Please, who wants to break their ice? Okay, I'll come back to you. Please think about what you want to say. I'll still come back to you. You have to speak before we end the session. Okay, so from my final question to you. So from a corporate or organizational perspective, what practical steps can institutions take to ensure universal acceptance compliance within their systems and platforms?
Okay. When it comes to the corporate sector, everybody has a role to play. In the cybersecurity side, they say that the weakest link in is the human, in the company is the humans. Here too, there's another saying that says, if you see something, say something. So you have come here, have you seen something? So when you go back, are you going to say something? And we have all done the test to see if our emails or website are compliant. My colleague here has told me we are not compliant, so we have big problem to go and solve. So you too, when you go back to your offices and you know that your system is not compliant, say something. Start saying something. Make the most noise that is needed for it to get to your MD if your tech teams are not acting. When it gets to the MD, will the MD be pushed to act? Tell the tech people to go and do something. So we should not sit and say it is the MD's duty. What are you doing for the MD to get to know about it and to act? We all have a role to play. Go and do your part. Like me, I'm going to play my part by making the most noise that we are not compliant. What about you? Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll put my final remarks in 3 words: collaborate, adapt, and implement. Collaboration, I'm happy we have an ICANN staff here in this room, and UA, Universal Acceptance, ICANN is championing it, and some of this training capacity we may do and not do without ICANN. So collaboration is important, and I'm very glad what my brother said from behind. At times, some of these organizations probably, you don't even know how, but some of these students will be able to help you. So if we are able to collaborate with the university, the institution, we are able to adapt and implement and solve our problems. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So from my point, from the technical point, the first and foremost is to look at how compatible my corporate website and email system is, whether it's UA compliant, and from there, if it's not UA compliant, we're going to work on it so that it becomes UA compliant. So that's what I'm going to look at from the technical point of view.
All right, academia is also pushing for UA to be inclusive in your curriculum so that you'll be taught, it will be taught at school. Now, the challenge is, after learning, what do we do? Is industry also ready to accept us? That is the implementation. Because whatever we go to learn in school, we come back to implement. Are we ready to also implement, or we also want to join those already in there and says, it's my boss. My boss says so. I so soon heard somebody telling me, this is the format at which you're supposed to follow. In this institution, you have to follow this, and that's the end. But people in that same institution have gone behind that same, what do we call it, formats, and have made it big out there, of which me and you can do. I believe we can all say to ourselves today that I can. Not I can as in I can, but I can. Can we tell ourselves this? Then let us all go with it. I can. From today's UA meeting, let us go with this word, I can. So that when we see something, we say something. We do something about it. When it has to come with collaboration, let us get ourselves together. At least we've become a family. Let us, when you're having challenges, call anybody here. who was part of the training, Charlie, help, or call AAU. We need help. If you have links to Mr. Yalvi and ICANN, we need help. And then we can do it as Ghana, and then help Africa to become universal compliant. Thank you.
Thank you. So the question is back to you again. You've heard a lot. What are the steps that you would do when you go back to ensure that you are UA compliant with the systems or the platform that you use in your various organizations? This one, everybody must talk. You have to, whether you like it or not. You've heard a lot, so we are going to go around. All the things that you've heard, when you go back to your various organizations or institutions, what would you do, or what are the steps that you would take to ensure UA compliance within the systems or platforms that you use? So, yeah, can go first.
Okay, so let me just take my time to introduce myself. My name is Derek, Systems Manager for Wisconsin Ghana Limited. I think that I've picked up a lot from this training. It's just like the saying goes, everything rises and falls on leadership. For me, throughout the training, things that I thought I knew took me by surprise, let me say so to speak. I wouldn't wait for my MD, my immediate boss, to come looking into things. Are we okay? Is everything okay? The system compliance? No. I think that for me, what I'm going to do is to continue to attend workshops that is pricking my mind to understand what is this workshop about, what is this about, so that there is always something new you are learning, so that when you go back to your institution, you can act, rather than waiting for somebody or your head of department to come to you and say, are we compliant in this, are we okay on this system? So for me, it is a continuous learning process for me to be attending workshops like this. And we finished school as way back as 7 years or 8 years ago. I don't think 7 years back we had anything called UA. The new ones who will be coming, you must pay attention to them, especially those who will be doing internships around your end. They will come and speak certain languages you may not be aware of. You don't say, oh, I'm the systems manager and I know more than you. No, listen to them. So for me, what I'm picking from this session is that you never know it all. It always rises and falls on leadership, but for me, I'll always continue to visit programs like this, and then pick a few things or two, and then when I go back, whatever I've picked up from here, I'm just going straight to implement. And just like my boss said, he quickly came to ask me, are you compliant? And I said no. So once I go back, trust me, I wouldn't wait for anybody to come to me and ask, how are we on systems? Is everything okay? I'm just going to do what I have to do. Yeah, so that's what I have to say.
Everybody's talking.
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, mostly why I like these programs most of the time is that sometimes the thing you think you know, you come and you realize that you don't even know anything. So anytime I get the opportunity, I always want to attend so that I find new knowledge, and every day I see new knowledge. I've just realized that we can use, find ways to create our local domain names, even if we don't find it. Because initially I always think that if I want to create, I have to go online and get the image for the O and other things, but I just realized that I don't need to do that, where there are other ways to do that. Thank you.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank the organizers for this beautiful program, because it has been very impactful. When I was here, I was checking everybody's email. I started checking everybody's email to see what is happening, and I've seen that there's trouble, but it's not too late. From tomorrow on, we will start working on them. And also, I want to suggest something to our organizers once again, that these programs like this, I know they are expensive to organize, but it should not be yearly. sometimes we can even engage virtually, because things like this, technology is dynamic, it's not static. Even whilst we are talking here, something is changing. So help us to get there. And also, I want to again say that if we can have the UA day like the way we have cybersecurity awareness, like 1 month, then radio tour, everybody should be aware, they should be aboard in town, because it's like the information is limited to us here. But when we all make noise about it as a country or as individuals together, I think we get the attention of the masses. Thank you.
No, say something.
So I'm thinking with the school projects, there should indeed be a platform provided so that after the student graduates, the project will be projected onto a website or any platform for others to view, and it should be made international. And it could create opportunities for that student. Like he was saying, it could bring about scholarship opportunities, among others. Yeah.
Of course, today was a really informative day for me as well. But then I know right here, there are like people that are heads in their various fields and institutions and everything. So I just hope that maybe going back, we'll create room for people to be able to like bring in ideas, because most of us, we come and we are genius in most of these institutions. But you go in a place where maybe you are trying to like express yourself or bring in what you know, and you get pushed out, or it makes it seem like, oh, you are doing something different from what is accepted. Then it look like maybe you are being disrespectful or being too, like acting like you know too much. So I just hope that the senior people in here, when they go back, they make it open. But I mean, I'll try to like bring what I can bring. You understand? That's if there's room for it. Thank you very much. So should I go this way? No, I don't know whether.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I would also thank the organizers, and then I would also thank my colleagues for inviting me, because when he told me at first, I basically told him I might not be able to come because I had a shift, morning shift, so I won't be able to come. But I think me getting here has really, really helped. When I was coming here, I had an idea. So I'm a level 300 student UPSA. So I'm preparing project ideas, right? I had one that's phishing detection, AI phishing detection system. And when I came here, I've gotten other ideas that I can add to that phishing AI detection system. And also, the challenge one of the panelists threw to us, we the computer engineering, and the two challenges, I've also noted them down, which now I have 3 project ideas that when I go home, I can sit down and then analyze them to pick the one I think I'll submit to UPSC, so that they would also know that we are not going by that old system they wanted us to go, but we are in a technological world, so yes, we are going different way. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm also an IT student from UPSC, and I'm going to learn, or I'm going to work on the challenges that the panelists threw to us. So I'm going to work on how to work on the existing, how the existing computers can hide other scripts. So I'm going to work on that one.
Yeah, thank you. So, as discussed, my main challenge with UA was about social engineering. Already, you know, we are dealing with deep fakes, and to add UA, like users will be suffering, and then it's like phishing attacks will be running all over the internet. An example with the Kotor and the crab we have given, somebody using Kotor and another person mimicking it crab. It just you know. So, but with the discussions, I'm very sure the education will help us. So we need to educate ourselves more and more. If not, social engineering will take us by surprise. Thank you.
Right. So, my daily work, I actually work directly with developers. So my work actually spans across picking their code and then making the code readily available to users. So my focus is going to be on the email address internationalization support, right? So that anybody else where they input that checks in the code base, so that anybody elsewhere who input any character from any part of the world, it can go through the system successfully. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much for the opportunity. I'm Eugene. So I think most developers don't understand how to use the AU, specifically in my school, for instance. We have a lot of lecturers. Most of them might not have deeper understanding of how the system is being operated. So if we develop workshop for these developers, I think it will help. It will help the system to make sure it's performed uniquely. And also with compliance, I think there should be a periodic audit so that it will help track any errors and mistakes to fix them quickly when the need arises. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Blessing. Please, what will contribute is that for me, what would do, since level 100, I had the interest of building a website, but at some point in time, I stopped because I thought I couldn't see any organization supporting students or something like that. So what I would do is, since I've gathered information from here, I'll try and circulate it on my website, push it whenever I see any info about this, so that people like me, others, the students like me that have interest, like this, the IT students, they can also engage, then build up. Thank you.
So, thank you. Please, I'm Erica. So with me, I'll try and attend more events like this to enhance my knowledge that I have acquired here. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Sylvester Pakofi, his son. I won't talk much. I will just show action when I go to when I go to my organization. So, yeah.
Yeah, today I actually didn't want to talk today, but I think I have to say something. One, I'll pick on this. I have to go to my organization and do this and do that. Most of the time, there's this big gap between business and IT. It's all because they don't understand what you are doing. So it's not a matter of you just go in and say, I'm going to do that. It's about communicating to the business for them to understand what you are trying to do. Give them the tangible and intangible reasons or benefits why you are executing that project. Because IT units are mostly seen as a cost center and a wasteful unit.
But all because we don't explain the thing to the business unit well. So having the opportunity on sitting at the top there and also being through the mill, I know what we went through when we were going and understand where business also stands. So when we go out there to propose a project, let's take time and come to terms with business for them to know exactly how it benefits the company, the implications, what they'll face if we don't do it. Then you can now sell your idea to the company. And coming to, what's the name, the software bit and the complaints about, see, I'm telling you, if you don't take it, next year we'll come here and we'll be talking about the same thing again. I'll start on panels. There was this IA governance panel I sat on, and I told SPO, he was sitting there, I told them plainly that you don't even have the foundations right, and you are sitting here talking about, what's the name, AI governance. We don't have the data and everything, but we always try to jump and do the next step. When we finish this program, the first part, I spoke with Raymond and my brother there, Francis, and I told them, the places we need to start the thing, you are asking someone in his country to adopt your local language. Whilst we have the .com.gh here, why don't we start in-house? So I think we need to identify, it must be a conscious effort. I always tell people, Dubai didn't just stand up and do what they are doing. They consciously put a plan in motion and went one at a time. But it looks like we are just jumping all over the place. You hear this government official saying this government official saying this. But we need a conscious effort to say this is how we want to plan the country in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, and start from a point. That's where project management comes in. So as young ones, I'm so young, as young ones, let's try our best to push our ideas through, but let's also be conscious of the things needed to be done to be able to implement such things and be successful with it. Otherwise, we'll end up like what is currently happening with the politicians and other groups.
Okay. Mine is it's got to do with the academia and then the industry coming together to work. I have my personal experiences, especially where I found myself. Just a week ago, I need to defend my PhD proposal topic. 4 panelists from industry said it's well approved. 1 person from academia said, no, I will not approve it. Yes, so, and that's a very big challenge. It's a very big challenge. So if the 2 of them work together, I think we'll move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So my takeaway from here is when I go, I'm going to discuss with my unit, the IT division, about making our systems UA compliant, and then also the forms on our website should also be UA compliant. But we also have to look at the security risks so that we don't try to solve one problem and then create another one with new phishing attacks and so on. So we'll have to look at the security aspect also. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, then.
All right.
Our final.
Joseph from the Ghana Domain Name Registry. Okay. So I think I'll commend the organizers, especially the panelists, for these exciting discussions. And also, I think going forward next year, the T-shirts, we should have bigger sizes because I'm really struggling. And I believe we are in the awareness creation phase of this Universal Acceptance Day. So I believe going forward, we shouldn't center everything in Accra. We can be moving across the regions, northern region, Volta region, because all that we are talking about, those are the people who will benefit more. So I believe we should also try and move across our regions to create the awareness there. Thank you.
Thank you. So we finally come to the end of our session. A big thank you to our panelists for
Applause,
sharing.
please.
Oh, you can do better. And also thank you all for engaging, and also thanks to the ladies finally speaking. Yeah, so thank you all for engaging, and thanks to our panelists for sharing. And I remain Faiza Adam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please do it for them. And a photograph will do. I mean, this is historic. Wonderful. Who's taking a picture? Yes. Thank you. An applause to them, please. They are UA accepted. Yes, they are. You know, whilst we're passing the mics around for takeaways for participants, I was thinking, what will I say? What will I say? And you know, this is what I want to say. Maybe I think I should make noise. We should also make noise to our institutions when we realize that whatever device they are bringing and stuff are not UA accepted. We should talk about it. So it creates that conscious mindset that we should look for things which are UA accepted. At this point, I would say that we've exhausted all the sections. Part 1 was amazing. Part 2 was unique. And Part 3 is off the hook. We did a great job. And you have been the best audience ever. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Your attentiveness was awesome, and then you've been very, very compliant. You are UA accepted. It is what it is. At this moment, we're having a final announcement. I don't know if Raymond or Sule, anybody has any announcements that you want us to share with the entire house. Any announcements? If not, then I'll invite. I'll have to invite Abna Colette, who is a software developer AAU, to help us with one sanctimonious vote of thanks. Please do it for her. Do it for her. She almost came first in the radio, you know.
Please, I would like to have a rematch after this. So, okay. So, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of AAU, I would like to thank all participants who made UA Day 2026 a success. So first of all, to our organizing partners, EGIGFA, GDNR, UNESCO, ICANN, and AU. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. So this is, like Dr. Felicia said, the 4th consecutive year of AAU hosting Ghana's UA Day. And this milestone speaks to the strength of this partnership and our shared commitments towards building a truly inclusive internet for Ghana and Africa. So to Dr. Felicia, we thank her for her leadership and AU's continued support in championing this digital transformation across the continent. Your opening address reminded us that this work goes beyond technology. It's about identity and economic opportunity. Our deepest appreciation to ICANN, Mr. Yauvi. Your interactive session made the complex concepts understandable. And SIDA, your comprehensive presentation from the online sets the foundation for everything that followed. We also like to thank Sina and Curtis for the inspiring video and UA videos they gave, messages they gave. To UNESCO, who was represented by Mr. Abdul Hamid, the powerful message he gave from Director Kanila. We'd like to thank you for your unwavering advocacy for multilingualism and the linguistic diversity in the digital space. To Mr. Raymond, Mamattah, did I mention it right? Mamattah, okay. Mr. Kweku Entry, Mrs. Maud Ajili, Ashon Elliott. We'd like to also thank them for their remarks and the critical work these organizations do to advancing internet governance and digital inclusion in Ghana. We'd also like to give a special acknowledgement to our technical team, Mr. Sifwa, Mr. Tetteh, Mr. Sule, TV, Mr. Chief, and all the team that helped make this day successful. We saw live demonstrations of email server setup, WordPress configurations, domain registrations, with our local scripts brought to life. We watched the test from Waseko, how the emails arrived. So we know this is no more a theory. We have moved from just speaking to actually doing something about it. And we'll also like to finally thank our panelists this afternoon for the engaging discussion on why universal acceptance matters for Ghana and Africa, and the practical steps you must take to adopt this. To all participants, we would like to thank you for joining us here in person and online, for your engagements, for your questions, and your commitments. And we hope you bring this knowledge back to your organizations. We saw how to register domain names with our special characters like or, and then other local characters. And we saw how the systems can then accept these emails, how it would look like. And we've learned that universal acceptance is not just about technology anymore. It's about ensuring that we are not excluded from the digital world just because of the language we speak. And so as we close today's program, we would like to remind you that the work doesn't end here. You have to play a role, whether it's asking your providers if their systems are UA compliant, whether it's testing your email addresses or updating your websites to accept these valid domain names. We'd like to once again thank you all for making this 4th Ghana UA Day a success. Safe travels to those heading home. To our online participants, we'd like to thank you for staying with us throughout the day. Thank you.
Let's do it for her. Well, thank you so much, Abuna, for that. Really appreciate. Very succinct.